All right. Well, I'm sitting here with Mr. Tom Connally himself, and we've just finished up 90 days working together to really establish the whole sales and marketing process, and most importantly, to establish his brand and his business as a leadership coach and consultant out there in the marketplace, and be able to attract customers and start signing people on. So, Tom, first of all, welcome. Thank you for doing this, and tell us a little bit about what was happening beforehand that made this a good choice for you to jump on with me.
Well, Peter, this has been a great experience. First off, and when I first got introduced to you, I knew right away, because what wasn't happening was I wasn't clear on my ideal client, and because I wasn't clear on my ideal client, then everything else was out of whack. And I didn't understand how to use social media. I didn't have the fundamental skills that I needed, that were much easier than I thought. And some of the systems that, for billing and accounting and tying all those pieces together. But the real most important part was getting the message across and understanding who I was talking to and how I was going to show that ideal client how I could help them. And that is probably the home run that you hit with me. Awesome. And it was absolutely the reason why I signed on. And it is, and it's paid. And it's paid. You've made that dent, and the momentum is rolling. And so yeah, I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan. You've done great work.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, you answered the question, which was going to be what was the biggest takeaway? What was the biggest benefit or result for you? Sounds like the messaging. I don't know if there's anything else to add from what you just said. Thank you.
Well, messaging is key, but also understanding, how you do that messaging, the timing of the messaging, and putting, and the venues, figuring out where you're going to message, and all of that, the strategy of messaging. And I'm not an expert in all of that because I worked with you, but I now understand how to do it. And of course, I'll send everybody who has my problem to you, because you did that very well. You understand it, and you were able to explain every, and help me solve for me every question that I had with reference to those things. So whether that's social media or emails or chat flows or or sales calls, we went through it all, and you helped me see where that whole flow from the ideal client to the message to the sale to the contract to then the service of the client. You went through the whole flow, and that was exactly what I needed.
Awesome.
And so now I know where I'm going. And for a guy who lives on goals and values and knowing where you're going, that's what was missing. And you hit the nail on the head, brother. I appreciate it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. So what would you say to anybody out there who's thinking about working with you and a little unsure?
Man, make the decision, take action.
Yeah.
Make the phone call, right? Absolutely. It was one of the best things I ever did.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. And if you are in need of getting on top of your leadership game, do not hesitate to reach out and connect with Mr. Tom Connally. You will not regret it. ConnollyConsulting.com, or find him on LinkedIn. And thank you very much, Tom.